Troy West here. Thank you for watching the Solid Sports Games channel. This is another presentation of the Solid Sports video blog. This is episode 284. Today's date is March 20th, 2025. Thank you for joining me this morning. Appreciate all the support. Before I get started, I just want to give a special thanks to my YouTube homie, the Daru. Check her channel out. I will put some on my community wall. Definitely check her channel out. I'm going to promote one of her videos. Put it on my community wall, so y'all go check her out. She have all types of content. She do gaming. She really into music, um, especially hip hop. Definitely check her out. She's very informative. Have a lot to offer. I've been a fan of hers for a while, and she helped me out. We up to 322. I think I just got another new subscribers from the last 2 days. Um, my channel has got almost 10 more subscribers and they keep coming in, so thank you for that, and a special thanks to her. um and just check out my community wall, and go check her out for sure. um Also coming up on the channel, a lot of projects I just started. um I got some more retro stuff. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. I do a couple other turtle videos. The Cowabunga collection. um I have like 12 games on it. So I'm gonna try to do as much as I can on that. It's free right now. If you got PlayStation Plus, you can also play it. If you're a fan of the Turtles or just a fan of retro gaming, that is a good collection. So um, definitely check that out for yourself. But I'll be having it here on the channel. We go continue Silent Hill 2. I should have a video for that today. Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. I'm gonna try to put a video. I'm gonna try to do a lot of work today. I'm going away for the weekend, so I'm gonna try to do a lot of posting today. Um, so definitely check that out. Um, all my projects, video game playthroughs. So I love video games and sports. This is the place to be if you like those two. But I appreciate everybody, all the support lately, especially from Mr. Rudaru. So definitely check out. And I'm gonna put something as soon as I finish this video. I'm gonna definitely put something on the community wall. The show today, we got a lot of sports. The March Madness starts today. I'm gonna talk a little bit about that. MLB started officially in Tokyo, but not till next week till everybody else gets started. I have a preview of that. I am going to do a preview show this year. I was going to announce that, so we'll be doing an MLB preview show next week, probably next Wednesday. Um, I'll do a special live for that, and then I'll do a regular show next week. Um, so definitely stay tuned for that. NBA, we'll look at the playoff picture, look at the current standings, um, and NFL. A lot of NFL news. Free agency still going on strong. I give my take on the Aaron Rodgers situation. That's starting to get a lot of it's in the news a lot. So we're gonna talk about it. Shoot. Um, so definitely stay tuned for all that. Um, oh, hi, how you doing? Yep, thank you for being here. So let me get started with the MLB. Um, of course, like I said, it started. The Dodgers swept the Cubs over in Tokyo to start the season. Dodgers, of course, high favorite to win the whole thing again. That's probably who I'm going to go with to win it. So, but they looked good, even though they showhanded. Shoya Tony did what he normally does. They missing Mookie Betts. He's out with an illness, so he's been out. Freddie Freeman, I think, ain't back yet. So, um, but they still a deep team. The Cubs, like I said, they're a decent team as well. Um, but I think in baseball, you just don't want to start off real bad, which is hard to crawl out the hole. So the Dodgers off to a great start, winning their first two games. Of course, everybody else starts next Thursday, I believe. So, um, but the Dodgers, they're gonna be right there again. Um, Oh, my man Derek, man, what's up, bro? How you been, man? Yeah, so the Dodgers look good as always. But we'll see how this season goes. We'll see if they're able to fully get healthy. But they probably the deepest team in baseball, obviously. I just hope my Braves can challenge them. The Phillies, the Mets, everything the Mets did. So the NL East, the Central, like I said, we got Milwaukee, but we're not sure about everybody else. Um, but the Dodgers are the clear favorites. But they got some competition in their division. Arizona's still there. The Giants made a lot of moves. The Padres. So they got some competition in the West. But um, if you just look at it from player to player, the Dodgers is clearly the best team, not in just the National League and all of baseball. So they go over there, get take care of business in Tokyo. They 2-0. They come back to the states, which is weird. You come back and you still got to finish the preseason, and then the season starts next week. So Wednesday, I will be doing a special show, get my predictions on the baseball season. So that's what I'm going to do next week, next Wednesday, and then we have a regular show on Thursday um, next week. Luckily, I got those 2 days off, so I'll be able to do it around the same time, um, around 9:30 in the morning. So I did want to take a look at the West divisions. Speaking of the Dodgers, I talked a lot about them already, but the Diamondbacks, like I said, the Diamondbacks in the National League, they've been hanging around, competing. The Giants, they made some off-season moves, so you expect them to be right there for a wild card at least. And then the Padres with Machado um, and the other players around him. San Diego's going to be good again. They got some new pitching as well. So we'll see if the Dodgers how they handle the West in the National League. In the American League, basically, it's the Houston Astros. That's the only team you're really sure about. They come with it every year. Um, Seattle, like I said, I talked about the Mariners last week. They've been the last 2 3 years. They get right there to the postseason and then fall off in the last couple weeks of the season. So hopefully they can put something together. And Valley, maybe this would be their year. They make the next step. Texas Rangers got a decent team as well, but they just too inconsistent as well. So not sure about them. But they're the two teams that might do something in the West. The Angels and the A's. Well, the A's, basically that's all they call it now. They only have a home. They've been kicked out of Oakland basically, and they gotta wait 3 years to go to Vegas. So they be playing in I think they said somewhere in Northern California. They don't have a team name or nothing. So um, that whole organization is a mess. And the LA Angels, Mike Trout, but other than that, and he's past his prime. They probably should flip him and try to trade him. They should have probably did it um, two straight years, but they let that. Now he don't have a lot of value, so the Angels are stuck. So really, the only team you really know that's going to come with it is the Houston Astros. Derek, let's see. Let's see. Who are my top five home run hitters? Today or all time? Today, everybody hit home runs. But today, I would say not in no particular order because, of course, Tony for the Dodgers, even though he hits home runs very well. Uh, Aaron Judge, of course. Those are the top two for sure. I would say they're top two. Now after that, it's pretty much everybody's bunched up. You could say I like Juan Soto, even though Juan Soto hit more for average, but he's a clutch home run hitter for the Mets. Peter Alonso for the Mets, he's a good home run hitter. Even if we go with Orioles, Anthony Santander. Well, even though he moved on to the to the Blue Jays now, but he was up there last year in home runs. It's just so many home run hitters, man. I like Ronald Acuna Jr. He's one of my favorite players. Of course, I'm really a Braves fan. He's a good home run hitter. Hopefully, he's back. He was hurt last year with a torn ACL, so hopefully he comes back stronger than ever. Other home run hitters in the out in the league. There's a lot. There's so many guys though. There, like in today's game. Um, but if you talk all time, of course, I don't care about the steroid thing. I'm not one of those guys that judge players for the steroids. But of course, Barry Bonds, one of the best I've ever seen. I like the Ken Griffey Jr. though. His swing was just sweet. Um, who else back there? Of course, Mark McGuire. Sammy was good too. Those two, they was the head of the steroid thing. But Sammy, to me, it was he just had a big fall, like you know. But he's the only player that ever hit 60 home runs in 3 straight seasons. So you got to put him in there. Um, yeah, so it's a lot of guys, man. But like Barry, when he was at his height, they used to walk him with the bases empty. So that told you something right there. How dominant he was. Um, and even if he did the roids or whatever, if you look at before he even became just purely a home run hitter, he did everything on the field. He was a good fielder. He still hit for power average. He used to steal bases, all that. He get you know steadily a home run hitter till his late in his career. Um, but yeah, today's game is so many guys. Austin Riley for the Braves. They just popped in my head. Freddie Freeman, Dodgers. It's so many guys that hit home runs. Now basically it's like now today's game is basically home run or nothing. Like it's not a lot of speed guys anymore. Um, it's just basically hit home runs, and then the speed guys, um, they just walk and try to get on base. So it's a different baseball game now, but I still enjoy it. I admit I don't watch like I used to. I try to catch a few games. It's hard to watch games if you don't got pretty much full blown cable. It's hard to even watch baseball. It's not on that often. I think they try to put it on Saturdays. Fox do, um, but yeah. I mean that's. I mean I hope that answered your question. I just, it was a good question to throw out there. But there's so many guys. I would have to like do some research and um, really give you a top five. But definitely Tony and Aaron Judge are the top two for sure. Those they're consistent with the home runs. I think Aaron hit 61 last year. I think Tony had 56 for the Dodgers, and they both won MVP in each league, the National American League. So um, and then as Tony, like he pitches as well, so he's like the modern day Babe Ruth. He can pitch very very well. Um, so so that's hopefully that answered your question. Um, but that's enough of the baseball. I know, like I said, I don't have a lot of baseball fans. I don't know it. I say it every time. I don't even know any baseball fans anymore. Like only people I know that's baseball fans are like older guys, older people. But people my age or younger, they don't mess with the baseball so much. Um, yeah. So now I'm gonna pivot to the NBA, man. The NBA been crazy. Um, oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, but yeah, pitchers now. I mean, it's pitchers that throw heat in today's game. It's more the relievers though. The starters are more like finesse. You got a few starters that throw very very hard, but Randy was just different because he was tall and he was left-handed. So he had those two things for going against him. Then he could throw it 99, 100 miles per hour. Um, but far as comparing somebody to Randy, there's nobody in the league quite like Randy. But all the old pitchers, I mean, all the good pitchers are older too. Max Scherzer, um, Justin Verlander. Like I said, Tony's a good pitcher. Um, but it's not no real steady guy. It's like pitchers have up and down, up and down. It's not no steady guy. All the steady guys are older, so you thinking they gonna retire soon. Um, but that young pitcher for Pittsburgh, Paul Sneaks, check him out. He's probably gonna be the next dominant pitcher of this era. Um, he won rookie of the year last year, I believe. He's gonna be decent for Pittsburgh. They just don't. Pittsburgh just not a good team. The Pirates, it's not a good baseball team right now. Yeah, Pedro. Yeah, Pedro. I like the Pedro because Pedro was the opposite of Randy. He was small, frail. Well, I only say frail because he was a lot smaller. He was only like 150 pounds, but he could still throw heat. And today's game also was different with the pitchers. It's they don't last long. Like back in the times we talking about, pitchers used to pitch. Basically, as long as you ain't have a bad inning, you would pitch the whole game. Now they take you out because just like with every sport now, even with the NBA, load management, all that stuff. Um, Pitchers, they want they don't want you to really throw no more than 80 pitches a game. So you might see an average starting pitcher probably pitch 5, 6 innings at the most. You rarely see a complete game anymore. But back in like Pedro, that's why I understand it because Pedro was a small, like basically, well, I'm smaller, but he basically got my frame and he could still throw 100 pitches a game and still keep pitching. So I don't understand. It's like they say that sports medicine's improved, but at the same time, why players are basically just playing less. That's basically what it is to me. So that's how they preserve, um, people from getting hurt and stuff like that. They still get hurt. Like in the NBA, all these guys hurt, you know, hurt every time. So the load management, I don't. I mean, I guess it works for certain players, but it don't work for certain players. So, uh, matter of fact, I was going to talk about the Sixers. I might as well talk about those. Speaking of injuries, Paul George out for the year now officially. They put him on the shelf. They might as well. Sixers probably between the Sixers and the Suns, they probably the most two disappointing teams. I thought Phoenix would be at least in the top, in the top part of the Western Conference. They not even in the play-in part of the playoffs. And Philly is way out of it as well. Well, the East is so bad; they still actually got a chance, but I just don't think they're not gonna make the playoffs. So, and Embiid is out. Embiid been hurt his whole career, sadly. But when he's healthy, he's one of the best players in the league. But he can't stay healthy. Um, a lot of people asking me, well, what you think they, Well, I asked. I think I talked to somebody at my job. He's a Philly fan, and I asked him like, what you think? Like, what you think they should do with Embiid? He didn't give me a straight answer. Which I probably wouldn't know what to do because you don't want to just trade him away. You want to hope he get healthy, but at the same time, this keep happening every year. And the Paul George, I mean, I feel bad for Paul George. Ain't been the same since he broke his leg at the Olympics years ago. Since then, he's been injury prone ever since. So, um, Philly, I mean, I like what they tried to do. Like, let's just say if they to stay healthy, Paul George, Embiid, Maxey, that's like a big three. The Sixers role players are not bad. They would have, I expected them to be a top five team, but this year it just didn't come together. Embiid started off the year hurt, came back for a few weeks, got hurt again. They decided to go in and shelf him for the season. Then now with Paul George, they shelved him. So I think they just hoping they get another good draft pick and try to flip, try to maybe be better next year. Um, yeah, Dirk, I be trying, man. I know I work right, and then where I stay at, like to like Wednesdays or Thursdays are the good days for me to do the show because I got more space in the house to myself. Um, So I try to do. That's why, like next week, I'll be able to do it as well. I'm gonna do two shows next week. Like I said, I'm gonna do a show just on baseball, then I'm gonna do a normal show. Um, but yeah, I'll be trying to get on. I know I go away for a while. It just be life stuff happens, and then I gotta adjust and do things. You know what I mean? So that's all it is. But you're right. I try to do some more shows, more often, more consistent, at least once a week. But I've been here. I think this is my third week in a row, so that's the longest I probably went in a while. Um, but you're right, man. I be trying. I be trying to get on and stay on every week. But like I said, next week I'll be on twice. So, and then hopefully the following week my schedule works out and I can be able to get on again. Um, and try to keep it consistent. At least now, uh, well, during the summer, it ain't a lot going on but baseball. You know. But I do my small football. There's always something to talk about on football. So, um, since you're here, right? Well, you've been following the NBA. What you think about the Cavaliers? They got the best record at 56-13. But a lot of people, well, me, I believe in them more than I did last year. Last year I wasn't surprised how they went out, but this year it does feel different. Like they a real contender. But you still got to put Boston as probably the favorite to come out the East. After those two teams, everybody else is the Knicks is like they up and down. They don't play no defense. The Pacers are a nice, decent team, but they just not good enough. The Bucks is another team that's I thought would be better with Giannis and Dame, and the team that they have. They shouldn't be as low as they are. The Detroit Pistons. Give a shout out to the Pistons. They've been a surprise this year, 39-31. That's your top six in the East by standings. And then here's the jumble up. Atlanta. Atlanta always going to be entertaining because of Trey Young, and if you could get him in a 7 game series, he could possibly win the whole series for you because he can go off. Um, Orlando. I mean, I know Pachero got hurt, but they kind of fell off the table. They started off well, but they still gonna make the play in. Chicago Bulls. I think the Bulls. I know a Bulls fan as well. I told him like they need to. I don't know what they need to. They need a star, but they need to probably flip some guys um, and sort of start over. Like this team is not going to never be good enough. And the Miami Heat is sort of annoying because you think they should be a better team. Now they don't have Jimmy now, so I know Jimmy's gone to the Warriors, but they just the way now they always dangerous in the playoffs because of their experience, because of Coach Sproul. So they always can give somebody fits in a 7 game series as well, but you got to get there. So right now they're in that the 10th spot, and then after that it's Toronto, Brooklyn, Charlotte. Charlotte. I think they wasted a little mental ball. They need to do something. The Wizards. What's going on with the Wizards, man? The Wizards just fell completely off the map, and of course we already mentioned the Sixers. How disappointed they be. But yeah, Boston's just too deep. Like Tatum and Brown, when they both playing their best, it's just too hard guys to deal with. But Boston's only issue that is can Porzingis stay healthy, and I think they're gonna really need him this year. I don't think they're gonna be able to get by like they did last year without him. I think they're gonna need him this year if they're gonna win it again. Um, because he ain't really come back to the finals, so you see how they just blew Dallas off the floor. But when he's there and he's playing well, Boston is still the best team. Cleveland, like I said, Cleveland, I think they got a real shot because they got deeper from their bench. They got the kid Hunter from Atlanta during the trade deadline, so they're a lot better than they was last year. I think it's going to depend on Donovan Mitchell though. Like it's going to depend on how well he plays. If Donovan Mitchell play like the playoff Donovan Mitchell that he has in the past, then Cleveland has a shot. But I still would take Boston over them right now in the East. West, same question. OKC. A lot of people um, just think they too young, but they got a deep team, a deep young team. Um, Houston Rockets, they've come back alive. They've been a little bit of surprise. I thought they'd be better, but they're a little bit surprised. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell, the man. Like when he was in Utah, what he used to do, they just say have a good enough team, and then he was in the West. But Donovan Mitchell is underrated overall to me. Um, but unfortunately, I think he's the guy that's going to have to, raise his game in the playoffs for sure if they're going to really compete in the East. But really with Boston, because everybody else, like I said, the Knicks, all those, I don't take them too serious. I mean, they're good teams, but I don't see any of those teams beating Cleveland or Boston. Indiana, like all those middle age teams there in the East. Milwaukee, like I said, I still believe in Milwaukee because they've done it before. But um, I think, like I said, I go back to the Coach Doc. Like Coach Doc to me, he's a decent coach, but I don't think he know how to make adjustments especially in the playoffs. You've seen it. He lost 3-1 leads. I think he only coached to lose like two or three. I think he lost like two or three 3-1 leads in the playoffs. All that's just crazy. And then last year they was playing real well with the other coach. I forgot his name. Coach, I think his name was Adrian something. They fired him mid-season, brought in Doc, and they sort of like sleepwalked through the rest of the season in the playoffs. They got lost in the first round. So they got to get out the first round for me to take the. If they get out the first round, I said, all right, maybe, um, you know, Donovan, is he better than Jimmy? That's a good question. I would say Donovan's overall better because he's more consistent offensively. But I think defensively, Jimmy's a little bit better on the defensive side. But I think overall, as a player, I think Donovan is better because Donovan's a more consistent scorer. Um, Jimmy to me is sort of like. Now I'm not saying he's got the talent like Randy Moss. You know how Randy Moss used to say, "Well, I didn't play. I would take plays off and all." I think Jimmy sort of does that during the regular season. Like he turns it on in the playoffs, which is good, you know. But I think sometimes he takes he takes a night off. Like he just won't show up, you know. Donovan don't do that either. Donovan plays hard every time. I'm not saying Jimmy don't play hard, but it seems like he sort of like sleepwalks through the season sometimes, you know. It's just weird. Like I think he should be put up better off. I think he's a good offensive player, but I think his career average is only what 18, 17 points. I think he should be in the 20s. Now he with the Warriors, um, you got Steph, but I think he's got to. I'm gonna talk about them in a second. He's gonna have to be like 24, 25 a game if the Warriors going to do something. But overall, I would say Donovan. I would say Donovan's a little bit better than Jimmy. Jimmy probably just got a more of an edge to him, that you like on your basketball team. But overall, as a player, Donovan is more consistent. So I would take Donovan. The Lakers, man. Everybody always talk about the Lakers. The Luka trade still baffles me, but I think he's starting to get used to being in LA. LeBron, what he's doing at his age. LeBron is my age. Well, I'm a year older than LeBron, but is he still playing very, very well. So hopefully he comes back healthy. The Lakers' problem is they got no bigs. So even though they beat Denver last night, but if they had to, but Denver didn't play the Joker. So if they had to play like Denver again or Memphis or these teams with bigs, we'll see how the Lakers respond to that. But then you look at the league today, like we were just saying about baseball, it's changed. So I mean, yeah, you still need a big man, but if you can shoot the basketball, you can overcome being small. It's just that if you miss shots, you're not going to be able to get second chances because you're not going to probably get a lot of offensive rebounds because you're smaller. But but a lot of other teams are small too, like the Warriors. That's their issue. They don't really have a legit big man. Um, uh, and that's it's like all these teams. Well, Houston got that Shagun guy, and OKC is tall. They got a lot of bigs too. Um, Minnesota got Gobert. The Kings got Sabonis. Yeah, so yeah, a lot of these teams that's in the playoff picture, yeah, they do have big men. So at least one decent one. I was just talking about Phoenix. Phoenix would be a playoff team today in the play-in. They in the 10th spot. But the West, like I said, OKC is the wild card, even though they're the one seed, well ahead of everybody else. I think after that, like Houston, it's interesting. Lakers, Denver, Memphis. Like I said, John Morant's starting to play better, so look out for the Grizzlies. Of course, the Warriors now got Jimmy. So if Jimmy played well in the playoffs and take some of that pressure off Steph, Draymond Green keep his head because that usually be an issue for him in the playoffs. He always do something stupid and get suspended. If he stay around, Warriors would be an interesting team. Clippers are interesting because can Kawhi, speaking of injuries, Kawhi can never stay healthy. So can he stay healthy? The Clippers would be a dangerous team. Minnesota with Ant Man. Um, like I said, the Kings, even though they don't have De'Aaron Fox no more, so I think that's gonna be an issue for them in the playoffs. And if Phoenix make it, Phoenix still gonna be a threat because you got Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Those both guys could go off for 50. So if they make it, they could be dangerous. Dallas, they got AD, but they got to get them back serious so they can get back in the playoff picture. Um, yep. So, do you think playing too hard in the regular season could affect most good players, like have the Derrick Rose? I think the Derrick Rose situation was different because he had Tibbs, Tom Thibodeau, the guy in New York now, and he played his starters 40 like basically the whole game. So I think honestly that's what happened to Derrick Rose personally. Um, like I said, today's is so different, man. Like I think it depends. I think just like with everything in life, I think it depends on the player. Like, can the player handle it? Um, because some players they play a lot of minutes and don't drop off at all. And then, like you just said, it's some players that play a lot of minutes during the regular season and then try to do it in the playoffs and just don't have it. I guess they just be fatigued or whatever. But the Derrick Rose situation was a unique situation, and it's a sad. Him. It's a lot of guys you can name. Remember Brandon Roy? He would have had a great career if he wouldn't have got injured. Um, Greg Oden was hurt in college, but still, I think Greg Oden would have been better, a lot better if he didn't break down. And then Derrick Rose, even though after he got hurt, he still had a decent career. He moved around a lot. He officially retired. What was it, a couple weeks ago? But yeah, Brandon Roy was one of those guys I still think about. If his knees when they gave out on him, um, he would have been a elite player. Tracy McGrady, even though Tracy McGrady still did his thing, but I think Tracy McGrady would have been even better than he was if he wouldn't have broke down. Even to go back further, Grant Hill, everybody know about Grant Hill, how he got hurt, and so I guess it depends on the player. So that's why you see a lot of these. The Spurs started this, with Kawhi, Penny. That's another one there. Yeah, Penny Hardaway. Um, he would have. People say he probably could have rivaled Jordan if he wouldn't have stayed. If he'd have stayed healthy, because he was a little younger. He was taller than Jordan. His handles was better than Jordan. Now Jordan had a better overall jump shot and things of that nature, but that would have been real interesting to see if he'd have stayed healthy. Would Orlando would have stopped that second three-peat because they would have been them, and the Knicks was there, but the Knicks just didn't have. I mean, other than Pat, all the other guys was just roughneck guys, But it's a lot of guys you can name, but Penny stands out too. Penny and even though Tracy still had a great career, he was hurt, in the back of his career too. So that was real, So that was interesting. That was an interesting question, but yeah. I like I said, I honestly I don't know. I'm just from the outside looking in, I feel like it works for certain players, and I feel like it don't. For certain players, like he still wound up getting hurt anyway. Like Kawhi, I just brought up Kawhi. The Spurs was low managing him, and he still would get hurt. Then with the Clippers, he's been there what 6 7 seasons, and he's barely played. Um, I don't know the direct answer to that, but I guess it depends on the player. That's my answer to that. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, that was really pretty much all I wanted to talk about the NBA. Just to look at the standings and look at what might happen in the playoffs later on next month. Um, NFL. Well, since I got you on here, Ravens fan, Ravens all the way. As always, I was disappointed how the season ended, though. I thought we should have beat Buffalo. Um, but I think we gotta just stay patient. I think. But I said it the year before. Even though we picked up Henry, I said it's gonna be harder because teams in the AFC got better, and teams are continue to get better. Yeah, that was a little bit surprised that they got D Hop. But it helps. It helps. Now I think our receiving core is a lot deeper. But I was telling, matter of fact, Sierra still reach out to me from time to time, and I put up a post about D Hop on my Facebook page, I think, and she asked me like, what I think, and I just told her, well, I think what they're gonna do with him is, like, he's not gonna play every down. I think he's gonna be like, basically like the third receiver. I think they're gonna have like a Pacific, um, probably make a Pacific plays for him. I don't think he's gonna play every down because I think Zay is definitely our number one, and I like Bateman. I think Bateman is improved every year, so I think they are definitely our top two receivers. So Hopper fit in there like with Aguilar, and he'll fit into that realm. And then on big plays, probably like big third downs. Maybe in the postseason, we'll look to him, to make big catches. But as far as playing every down, I'd be surprised if he play a lot, But I think it's a good fit. And then he played with Derek in Tennessee. I told her that, so I think that's familiarity with Derek. So I think it's a good fit. And Lamar's he's improved every year on his passing. So I think it's a big pickup. I think it's great. And then he was just in Kansas City, so maybe he give us some little insight on what Kansas City do. So we could probably beat them if we had to play them again. So I think it works out all the way around. Um, so it was a big pickup. I think now, I think only thing we need to do now um, is maybe in a draft get another like what's the kid we drafted out of the DB? Hey, what's his name? Ain't coming to me right now, but I look at our secondary, getting it more deeper. I think everywhere else up front, we pretty much deep at linebacker, defensive ends on the defensive side. Offense, we're fine. Maybe it won't hurt to maybe add another running back. Nate Wiggins, you got it. It came to my mind right when you typed it, bro. Yeah, Nate Wiggins. He played very very well last year. He improved every week. Um, so I think I would probably our first couple of picks probably focus on the secondary, and then probably just pick whoever's the best available for the rest of the draft. Um, but I think we got a shot again this year. Um, Cincinnati they locked up T Higgins and Jamar Chase. They're gonna be an issue for us for years. Pittsburgh, which I was gonna talk about, that was gonna be my focus on today with the Aaron Rodgers thing. Um, yeah, you're right. They did just let Brandon Stevens go to the Jets. Yeah, the Jets might be a sneaky team, man. Because I like Justin Fields. I think the coach was the OC in Detroit. So he know a little bit about Justin. Look out, the Jets could be a sleeper team next year. Because I believe. Speaking of Pittsburgh, so I still like Russell Wilson, but I think they should have stuck with Justin a little longer last year. Even though Wilson came in and played well for them, but I think Justin is just younger. Um, he got the still got the run out the pocket dynamic. So the Jets are already deep defensively. They got good receivers. They got Brees Hall in the backfield. So um, right, that's I was going to go there. Because now DK and Pickens, there's two good receivers right there. Pickens, man, you know what he's good at? And I always get amazed when I watched the Steelers last year. He know how to hide his hands at the very last second. He hides his hands, so the DB have no idea where the ball is. He's perfect at that. I never seen nobody in a long time hide his hands as good as Pickens does. Um, but for the Steelers, period, like you know, I think Aaron Rodgers. I like Aaron Rodgers, man, but honestly, think he's past his prime. I don't. He's clearly not what he used to be now. And then he's sort of a diva. I don't. If they get him, it wouldn't make me more scared of him or anything like that. Yeah, he's a veteran. Um, yeah, AB. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he was good at doing that. Yeah, yeah, AB was good at that too. But Pickens, as far as like recently, like he's as far as just hiding his hands, he's one of the best to do that. But yeah, AB, yeah, he went nuts, man. AB should have. Imagine if he had never got into all this trouble and stuff like that, man. He would be a first, definitely one of the top receivers of all time. He might, by talent wise, he probably still is, but just all the trouble off the field and everything with him. But the Steelers, man, they know how to draft receivers. They had Plax at one time. Santonio Holmes, like they good at the Steelers are good at finding receivers, drafting them, let alone getting them through free agency. So their Big Ben was there for so many years, but really since Big Ben, um, they haven't really had a quarterback. You know, um, defensively they still going to be decent. Um, but if they get Rodgers, that might help. I think now that I think they should have kept Justin Fields personally. Um, let him learn that offense for the second straight. He never been in the offense 2 years in a row. I think he would have really improved and got real better. Um, but they let him go to the Jets, so um, I wouldn't be surprised if they wind up bringing Russ back because he was there last year. Just for that fact that he was there last year. Um, and this quarterback draft ain't that deep like it was last year. I don't think. Basically, you got Cam Ward, you got Shador, um, you got what's that other kid name? I think from BYU. So you got like basically 3 or 4 decent quarterbacks in this draft, and they all probably gonna be gone before Pittsburgh even get a chance to draft. So they ain't gonna be able to get one in the draft. Um, yeah, Travis Hunter, he's good. You think he can? A lot of people saying, some people said that he can. I think he can, but it's gonna be hard. Play both sides of the ball like 4 times, like he did at college. Um, I like I said, I'm not. I think I believe he can do it, but it will be hard. It's gonna be hard because the NFL is different than college. But Travis Hunter, he's just a great athlete, football player. Like you really can't. I think he can play a lot of other positions as well, because he's that athletic. But it's gonna be interesting to see where he goes and where if they're gonna let him. I think they definitely gonna let him play at least one of the positions sometimes. Yeah, Troy Brown. Troy Brown kind of did. He ain't do it full time. He would come in on like nickel packages, but they saying that Hunter want to play like like a number one DB and a number one receiver. Like that's gonna be tough to do, even for him. But I say try it, see if he can do it. But yeah, Troy Brown for the Patriots did it. He was a full time receiver, but then like on like nickel packages, he'll come in. Um, Matter of fact, he made a big play in the playoffs one time for them. I think an interception or something during that first run, the early stages of Brady's career, where they had Teddy Bruschi, that group. Um, yeah, he used to play nickelback for them, but he played 4 time nickelback or 4 time DB for them. But yeah, he did it a little bit. Um, but that's gonna be interesting to see um, if he's able to do it. Uh, but he's definitely the probably most dynamic player in this draft for sure. Um, and then I like Dion's son Shador. I think if he go to a right situation, he'd be good. They saying the Giants. Um, mm, I mean, I'd rather him go to the Giants than Cleveland. Cleveland's more of a mess right now. Um, already would be a Madden if you saying, yeah, that would be crazy. I just started playing Madden again too. I finally got my PS5, man. So I got my PS5. I've been doing stuff with that. I think Madden it went all the way down to $13, so I went ahead and bought it. So I've been playing that last week or so. I was like, oh dang, it went down to sale because I was like, I ain't buying it for those 69. I'm like, no, I'd rather wait till next season. But once it went down to $13, I went ahead and bought it. So I've been playing it. But yeah, that'd be crazy. Like, cause but see, yeah, but see, man, like I guess they would have to like um because they got just regular they got ratings and then they got ratings as your position. So I wonder will he have 2 ratings or would it be just 1 rating? Yeah, you ain't I was off there for a while. Like um I moved back to Baltimore from Jersey. Um but I ain't turned my PlayStation 4 on so long it wouldn't update. So I ain't have a system, so I was off for about a year or so. Um then I decided, well, I get a PS5. Um but I did it by payments. I ain't buy it all. I ain't pay for it all at once. I got it through my job through Afterpay. If you ever heard of that, so it's like a four payment plan, four payments. So I did it that way. Got it delivered to my house. Um, yeah, so I've been back. I play Call of Duty. That's what I play that every day. Um, but yeah, man. So I understand because it took me a while to get my PS5. Now they talk about PS Pros and all. I ain't PS5 Pro. I ain't getting all that. I'm just gonna stick with this until I guess until this whatever this if it's be a six. I think the six is so far away. My boy, Don. My boy Don. He keeps saying he keeps just talking about. I was like, man, they ain't no. Like I don't see them getting a six for what? Like they doing well with the five. I don't. And then it's not really much else you could do really right now. So I think the five will be around for a while. I think it's gonna be a while. I think years before it's a PlayStation 6. Um, yeah. So, but yeah, man. Yeah, he pretty much helped me out, man. I pretty much I wanted to talk about Rodgers, so I got to do that. I got to talk about the Steelers. Um, Uh, that pretty much was well. I wanted to talk about the tournament. That GTA is going to be crazy. Yeah, yeah. I ain't played GTA since four, the fourth one. I ain't played the fifth one. The fifth one is crazy online. I seen people play that online. GTA 5 is already crazy, but yeah, the next GTA, yeah, it's going to be right. Um, I thought about just going ahead and getting this one, but I think I'm gonna wait until they do a new one and get that one. Is you into the NCAA tournament, college basketball? I'm not really. I don't follow college basketball like I used to. But it starts today, so I was gonna just touch on that. I don't have no real predictions. I always been a Florida Gators fan, so and they are number one seed, so I'm just gonna say Florida gonna win it, even though I have no idea. I know there's other teams out there. The whole SEC, Auburn was good this year. Kentucky is still a decent team. Now you got Texas in the ACC, Oklahoma, all these. It's SEC, excuse me. Um, so I just think it's either gonna be Florida or some other SEC team. I'm gonna go just chalk here, but it's always surprises in the tournament. I used to love it as a kid and as a teenager. I used to love watching the NCAA tournament. I still do. It's different. The regular season I really never watch that much. I usually don't watch till now. Um, but yeah, it starts today. It starts today. So you always see some major upset the first couple of days. But then the real team sort of most of the time they still come out on top. Oh, okay. See, I haven't watched Merlin this year, so I heard of Dark Queen, but I haven't really watched. I haven't watched one Merlin game this year. I think I watched just a few highlights here and there. So that's why I was like, I want to watch them when they come on, um, just to see how they play. But they had a good year, um, in the Big Ten. Um, so I've been following them enough. I think They was ranked before the tournament started. But they was ranked like 11th, 12th, something like that. So they had a decent year. Um, but the team in the Big Ten is, of course, Michigan and Michigan State. The same old teams. Um, but Maryland was right there with them this year, though. So, but yeah, I had to check this guy out. I think they play tomorrow. I think Maryland don't play till tomorrow. So I'm definitely going. I'm off the weekend. I'm going away though. Going on a little trip for the weekend. Um, but I'm gonna still try to watch them this week. I know they should at least get past this first part of the tournament. I believe. Um, so I gotta watch them though. I ain't really watched them this year, man. I used to follow Maryland as a kid, man. During the Wall Dixon days and stuff. Man, I used to follow college basketball like crazy. Maybe because I was that age. I was of the college age. But then once I got older, I was focused more on the NBA as far as basketball. But I'm gonna try to definitely watch them. Matter of fact, let me see what time do they play tomorrow. I think they play some small school. Okay, Thursday. Yeah, Friday. Grand Canyon. Okay, 4:35 tomorrow. Okay, I'm gonna be a little busy during that time, but I'm still gonna try to watch them. Yeah, best college player of all time. Ugh, that's a hard one. Now this is for me. Like I know you could go back. Well, really, you could really it's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Really, is no question. But I didn't see him play, so I'm going to exclude Kareem with that because he didn't lose his whole college career. I don't think. Oh, they lost one game or something like that. Something crazy. He dominated. But other than him, um, you know what? Like this, probably just at the top of my head, I just remember this. Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan was a decent college. He played all 4 years. He was great. Do you know what he did in the NBA? But I'm just trying to focus just on the college part. But he had a great college career. I'm trying to think of. Um, but see, that's a hard question because, like, I would say Melo. Melo, he played 1 year and won the championship, and he was dominant doing it. But he only played 1 year, so it depends on how you look at it. Do you look at somebody that maybe stayed to their senior year, or just somebody that just dominated um, when they was here? Because I could say Zion, because Zion was, even though look at him now, that's another player that hopefully he stay healthy. Because if he stay healthy, he could be an all time great. But it depends on how you think about it. Kyrie, John Wall, yeah, John Wall was a good college player. Kentucky, well, you could take that Kentucky team, that whole Kentucky program. You could name 20 guys on the Kentucky squad. It's been so many guys that come out of there. Devin Booker was a part of Kentucky. Uh, AD. Um, even though Kyrie only played like 9 games for Duke, Kyrie was he did his thing for Duke that little bit of time he was there. Um, who else? Who else? Who else? Let's see. Jason Williams at Duke. Yeah, he had a. It was sad how his NBA career got halted too. But yeah, he was dominant. A lot of people bring up Christian Laettner. Speaking of Duke, he had a good career. He was there 3 years, won a championship. Um, dang, who else? It's so many guys. Uh, Even going back, I throw out some Maryland guys. Remember Joe Smith? Joe Smith was dominant at Maryland when he was there for us back in the '90s. Um, I remember him very, very well at college. Um, this a name that I don't even think. I think he got drafted, but I'm not sure. Remember Randolph Childress, who's a little guard from Wake Forest. He had a good, strong 2 years at Wake Forest. Um, I think he played with Tim. I think a couple of years. Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot about North Carolina guys. Antoine Jameson, Stackhouse, Rasheed was good in college. Vince Carter. Um, yeah. So that's another school that had a lot of guys. Speaking of Chris Webber was a great college. You know the Fab Five, of course. Um, Chris Webber was a good player. Um, that UNLV team with Larry Johnson and Greg Anthony. Greg Anthony was a decent NBA player, but in college he was one of the top players. Larry Johnson as well. You know what he did in the NBA, but his back gave out on him. Another player that injuries took him down. Um, yeah, it's so many good college guys coming up through years. But now with the NIL and all the other stuff, people don't stay in college for basically 1 year. They just do their 1 year and leave. Like this guy for Duke, which I haven't seen play either. I just heard so much about a Cooper Flag. I never seen the guy play. So I'm gonna try to watch some of these games, to check out these guys. But they say he's a great player. He was hurt, so he might not even play the first game. They say he might send him the first game because they're 1 seed and they could beat the 16 without him. Um, so he might not even play till the next round. Um, But yeah, and Jaw Wall. Speaking of Jaw Wall, man, um, just for real quick, what happened to him? Like, he just faded away. Um, I think he should have got another shot at the NBA. But I think they should have never him and Bill should have stuck together in Washington. I think they should have never left Washington. I think the Wizards would have been a decent team if they'd have kept them two together. In my personal opinion, once Wall left, you saw how his career went. Bill stayed in Washington. He couldn't stay healthy. He still can't. Haven't been the same. I think he's a little overrated to me too. Like he don't he plays. I mean, he's a good shooter, but that's it. Like you know, um, I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe for the college game, maybe because you're only going to be there 1 year and you're still getting paid. Um, so I think, like I said, I think maybe it depends on the player. I think certain players they just give it they all no matter what. Some players it does make them a little bit more relaxed because you're not worried. You get paid already and you're going to get drafted. So um, oh, ask me this. Well, now it's simmered down. What do you think Brody J should have got drafted? That was a big debate. You think he should have got drafted at all? What you just think about his career? You think he's going to be a decent player? Do you think the Lakers are handling him right? What you think about LeBron? Some people was praising LeBron. Some people was criticizing LeBron. But if it was my son, if I was in the NBA, if my son was coming up, I would help my son too. So I wasn't mad at him about that. Um, and the draft thing, maybe you could argue he shouldn't have got drafted. Should just went straight to the D League, whatever. Um, but you know, yeah, that almost happened. Durant, um, he just didn't want to go home. That was his excuse. He didn't want to go back home. DC is where he's from Pictou County, so he didn't really want to go back too close to home. So that's mostly why that didn't happen. But yeah, that would have been a great team. Um, and then when all everything was going down between Will and Wall and Bill, it was rumors that they hated each other and all this stuff. But then Wall and Bill came out and said, no, that wasn't the case at all. It was the organization trying to basically give them an excuse to get rid of Wall, to get rid of one of them. Because I think they didn't want to pay them both. So I think that's what really happened with the Wizards. So that's was really the breakup was order. They tried to make it seem like they ain't like each other, they couldn't play with each other, but that wasn't the case at all. They didn't want to play both guys. Um, and the Wizards have been another team. You know, they don't. It's hard to see if do they take winning seriously because they don't pay. But the NBA, even if you're in a small market, they make enough money off these TV deals and stuff. Uh, you could pay three guys, and then the contracts keep going up. So I don't. They can't say they ain't had the money to do it. So, but just like in sports now, see, like even with us, but I use Lamar Jackson as an example. If we'd have paid him after his first MVP season, he would have been cheaper now because we'd have paid him then. Now, last year he cost more because contracts went up, salary cap went up. So that's why you shouldn't play around. Just pay your players, get them a stitching now. Don't try to say, well, we'll wait, see if he do it. No, pay them. Go ahead and pay them because if you don't and they ball out, you got to give them more money. You know. But I'm glad Lamar got his money. But I think the Ravens could have messed that up. He could have went could have risked him going somewhere else. Um, so I would have paid him after the first MVP season. And he should have won MVP this year. I mean, I don't have a problem with Josh Allen winning it. Um, but I think Shannon Sharp said this. The weird thing is Lamar was first team All Pro, um, and Allen was second. So how could Allen be the MVP if Lamar was first team All Pro and they was voted on by the same people? So how can you be first team All Pro and not win MVP and lose MVP to the guy that finished second team behind you? So that's the reason why that was weird. But I wasn't too upset that Josh Allen won it because he did carry the Bills pretty much. Everybody thought they was going to fall off without Diggs and everything else. So he proved them wrong. So I give him credit for that. But Lamar should have won MVP. Honestly, I think Bronny would have been better if he, but just in my opinion, fascinated as far as I'm playing together. It's just yeah, me too. That's how I thought about it. That's how I thought about it. I thought about it in that sense, like it was just certain people saying basically you got a handout, you know stuff like that, and it might be true, but look, think about it. That happened in the world every day. Uh, Especially in the corporate world. Sure, sons just get handed a business. Don't have no reason why they should have the business. Didn't work hard enough, and they just get handed the business once the father want to give it to them. So I think I see it that way. That's how I see it. I don't see it as he's not good. He's now well he's as far as a player. I think he can get better. Um, but as far as LeBron, handed him a I would, like I said, if it was my son, I would have did the same thing. So that's why I ain't mad about it. I would have tried to help my son get in the league too. And I think he needs to be in the G League more. Get his feet wet, stuff like that. He's clearly, still need to learn more about the NBA. I mean, he's still a young kid. That's another thing people keep forgetting. So, right, that's my point. But people was, certain people, they had good points because they would say, well, like it was a kid. You might remember his name for the Lakers. That was undrafted, but in a summer league, they had a summer league right after the draft, and he was balling out. Um, I think he went to USC also. No, or was it? I know he went to somewhere, not the US, because they was Brody went to USC. He went to a school somewhere in that same area. Um, it might have been UCLA something, and he was playing well in the summer league. They said he should have. That's why he should have probably got drafted, and Brody should have got undrafted. They looking at it that way. They took he took an opportunity from that guy. That was actually better than that's better than him right now. I was like, yeah, that's a good point, but at the same time, like I said, that happens in the world all the time. Like with jobs, we could use ourselves to that, but it's probably a bit of time. Um, just because the person got a better relationship with the boss, they getting them more hours. They getting them better positions because they got a relationship with the boss. It don't even necessarily have to be your son. It's just that they might just like them better than they like you. Like it happens in the world every day. Like and I'm not saying it's always right, but that happens every day, man. So I think people, back people was going crazy at the time, and now everybody, just accepted it is what it is. You know what I mean? So yeah, yeah, man. It's nice to hear from you, man. Hopefully everything good with you. I gotta wrap this up, man. I got something to do. It's 10:30. I was trying to do an hour, but bro, definitely hit me up, man. My numbers and stuff has changed, but I try to reach out to you maybe on Facebook or something. Now I'm back in Baltimore again, so but it was always good talking to you. You always been a good guy. You always been supportive, man. Miss working with you. You was good to work with. You always had a good attitude. Um, I always try to tell you this. Like despite, um, I wish sometimes like I wish I had the heart and the patience that you got, man. Because I mean I know everybody go through things, but sometimes I would what I'm saying, okay. But you're a good guy. Basically, what I was about to say, you're a good dude, man. You always look at the world in a positive light. I do, but still not as much as you do, man. Like you always smiling. You always have a great attitude, and I always commend you for that, man. But yeah, just hit me up, man. We're definitely, maybe I could, like I said, I'm real busy this weekend, but after that, what I'm saying, at least we could, we could talk over the phone or something, and catch up with you and everything. But thank you for being here, man. You was here the whole show, so you made it. Cause usually when I come on, people are popping in and out. Um, no, man, it's not weird. People used to, like, well, I used to smile too much, but people always say you so laid back. Why? Cause I don't get angry. I mean, And I definitely never see you get angry at all. Like even when somebody was directly fucking with you, I never see you get angry. I never see you get angry or any level. But actually, it's a good quality, man. We need more people in the world like you, man. Like like just think about. Let's just look at our city right now. Our city is pretty much on fire. Killings every day. These young people just kill each other. Like I said, I got last summer I got stuck up, man. Had somebody pull a gun out on me, took my phone. That's why I had to change my number and stuff, man. Like I was trying to help the young boy. Young boy said he needed help with something. He basically let me. I let my guard down. He pulled the gun out on me, man. I was trying to help the boy. Now I make you don't want to help people. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, what I mean. People need to. I mean, people think I'm weird for saying this, but I really think it's so easy to just love your fellow man. Like everybody, everybody out here struggling, man. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I just was shook up. You know how, I've been raw before, but that one just felt a little different. But I'm good. It took me, I was just a little shook for a little while. Um, I lost my phone, my bank account, all that stuff got into. But I got reimbursed for all that. I just bought another phone, and I just been more careful. And this happened in broad daylight. So but I'm good, man. That was it last August, so it's been a while. So I got every day back straight. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I mean, you just gotta watch yourself, man. This is mostly our young. I don't want to put it all on the young people, but most of the crimes that's being committed now is by our young people, man. And there's no guidance in the world no more. So even though I don't just go around talking to people and stuff like that, but uh, I always willing to talk to somebody younger, like just to show them that it's still good people out here. The world is not as bleak as it looks. So, and I think you one of them people. So that's why I always commend you for that, man. But all right, I gotta go, bro. Yeah, definitely hit me up, man. Thank you for coming to the show today. Like I said, I'll be on twice next week for sure. Like I said, I'm gonna try to keep it consistent. And thanks for your support, man. Thank you, everybody, for the support. All my YouTube family, and everybody else who support. This was a great show. Derek, you made the show. You was a part of the show too, man. You made it more interesting. You asked me certain questions, so I got to, talk with a flow. Thanks, man. I'm trying, man. I make mistakes, man. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to every day, even though I'll be 42 this year, man, and I'm still trying to learn. And I just want to be in a peaceful place in my life, man. I'm too old to be playing around. I just want to find peace, and everything else, hopefully it'll fall into place, man. Yeah, yeah, man. I appreciate that, man. I really do, Derek. So, um, appreciate you, dog. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. Um, I hear from you soon. And thanks so much, man, for coming through. Peace and love, everybody. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys next week. Check out all the rest of my projects on the channel. Share the video, like the video. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the March Madness. And I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much. Derek, peace and love, bro.